Alright, that's good. This is a part 2, but I was basically doing a test rant. So, as I was saying, someone who can't get into Yale, or can't get into Harvard, or can't get into Juilliard, or can't get into whatever you want to go that's prestigious, whatever you care about, whether it be arts or whether it be anything really. If you want to be prestigious and you're ADHD, you kind of have trouble because, well, actually, if you want to be prestigious, then you should be able to, but some people like us aren't motivated, so they don't have the want to be prestigious at all because there's no motivation being enforced in school. We're given a packet and told to learn it ourselves more than we have a reason to. They don't introduce what we're going to be using it in. They don't make us do. I'm a doer. I learn through doing things. So if they guide me through the process and I'm the one doing the things without getting yelled at for it, if I do it wrong, I always find myself asking questions if I'm doing the thing right, and then they'll say yes or no, and if they say no, then I erase it and try it again. But they yell at me at the same time, which really, that's what I do in my mind, because they're yelling at me for I'm trying to go through the steps and get them right, no matter how many tries it takes, and then I get yelled at if I do the step wrong, even though I'm just trying to get the motion down. If I know how to do it, like motion-wise or whatever the case, then I'll be able to repeat the process. But if they yell at me, then I will just continuously get it wrong, so you can't pressure me either. So my teacher did this perfectly, and he not only incorporated the whole doing the steps, but he wouldn't do anything. He would just say, yep, that's right, or nope, that's not, you need to try again. And then he'll let me look at it for 5 minutes and see if I can find the reason I made the mistake, and then I found it, and it was all fun, and I got like a B, and he was the best ever. And then now I'm back into a high school that has a math teacher that teaches 30 kids, where my old class had only 5 people in it, so we had one-on-one time, and it was the best school ever, and now I'm back to the same old grind, and it's hard again. So I had a lot of friends in that school. I was doing really well in that school. I had a good teacher in that school who could motivate me to do math in that school. I'd give anything to get it all back so that I could be successful, because that school knew how to get you to find stuff out. They literally, most of the day was dedicated for you to independently search something that interests you and do an entire project in 4 weeks about it. So you search up a topic using your iPad that every student gets in the school, because iSchool, it was the first iSchool in America. They funded us. I don't know what it was, but they were all popular, and it was really hard to get in, and I got in basically because my parents were begging, and I cheated my way in. Not me personally, but, it was a school for me, and it ended up helping a lot. I was there for like 5 years, and I learned a lot. I learned how to speak in front of people without problems. I learned how to perform. I learned all of these things, and I'd be an actor, a great one, but, again, I lack motivation, and everywhere I've gone, people focus on one select thing that they did, and they think that that's how to teach it. I wanted to be in movies, and I ended up getting a 3-hour lecture on why drama exists instead. So, oh wait, I sidetracked way. I was talking about tests. SATs, yeah, those are really great, because you take them on Saturday, because the first 3 letters are SAT. No. But the entire thing is reading a paragraph or a freaking essay, 9 pages long, written by some idiot who obviously went through something that made him forget all his kid days, and doesn't think about how he was like as a kid when he took the test, and he thought maybe I should change something, and then something wiped his mind, so he can't change it. We're all forced to take this test, and I think it's retarded and stupid. Why is it that in order to go to college we need to know, here's a story about Timmy. What color was the car Timmy was riding on when he went to the dentist. Was it red, blue, turquoise, or green mixed with yellow? I don't know. I that was on like page 2, and I don't. And then you go back and you look, and the freaking it's not even about Timmy. His name. Oh, trick question. His name's not actually Timmy. It's Junior. And he wasn't in a car. He wasn't going to the dentist. There is no colors. This entire question is rigged, and you're stupid. Yay! You don't go to college. Go die. Yeah, that's a real fun test to take when all of the answers are wrong. Most of the time when I took the PSAT, I got an answer and it was right. I checked it too. I got an answer and it was right, but all of the freaking options were wrong. Literally. They're all like wrong. All of them. And I knew the rules. I knew all of it. I had it right there in my notes. And it said that I was right. And it showed that I was right about that. And then all of the answers were still wrong. And I got the question wrong because the answers were rigged. So I thought that was stupid. And I never got my PSAT results back. And I don't want to see them because I bet they're awful. Because the test is freaking rigged. And it's so dumb. Why are you singling out people who don't take tests well and telling them they can't go to college when that's their whole problem? If I have a problem taking a test, the thing that decides my future shouldn't be a freaking test. It's like saying, I mean, it's so hard of a problem. It's ridiculous that they're singling me out because I can't take a test. I can't. I can prove that I'm learning. I can prove all these things, but the only way I can pass in these schools is by tests. Whereas I used to be passing all of my classes in that 5-year school because I didn't take tests, and there were none. There was like one test. The rest of the grades were all project related and or homework assignment related. So I'd get the homework done, I'd get it right, and now if I do the homework right and I get all the stuff in and turned in, it still doesn't count because all the tests I'm not getting good grades on because I have problems testing. And the questions are like the ones that I find the most difficult. Like, if it's a test dedicated to problems I knew how to do and have practiced all the darn time, then I end up passing the darn quiz. But then there's another quiz that I take where it's all of the stuff I couldn't do and couldn't figure out and was hard or couldn't remember or had a lot of steps or whatnot. So all of the hard problems are on the test and none of the ones I actually figured out and knew how to do perfectly were on it. So then I failed it because I wasn't very good at that particular problem or whatnot. So putting all of the things I can't do on the test makes me fail. Do you see why this is rigged yet? Do you understand that if you put things on the test that are purposely wrong or the student doesn't know how to do because they weren't taught right for whatever the reason, they're gonna get it wrong and they're gonna fail even though they're learning? It's not a good reflection on whether somebody's learning to make them fill in a bubble after reading a 9-paragraph essay that makes the whole period seem like, oh, please let this end, this is awful. That's not how school should be. Okay? You should find a way to motivate people into learning. Because kids aren't motivated. But if you want people to work at it, they gotta have motivation. Motivation is key, and schools don't do that. They don't care. They don't want. They don't teach that way. They don't motivate. They don't take their time out of their day to worry about you. They say, if you're learning, I'm doing my job. If you're not learning, I don't care. I'm doing my job how I've been doing it for 15 years. Some people pass the class no problem. Some people fail. The people that are failing are the people that aren't motivated or need motivation because that's their disability. They need a reason to do it. We're not all scholastic and we're not all people who just are motivated to learn. I'm here to learn. We're not all that people. We're not all those people. Everybody's different. We're not going to be motivated the same way 30 kids in the class are. 30 kids in the class, and like 10 of them are motivated to be there and want to be there and learn, and the other 20 are going to sit there and find no point in it. We need to get the 20 people who don't find a point in it to find a point in it. We're not focusing on finding a way to make them learn, or finding a way to get them active, or finding something in it that's fun. They're not doing that because they don't care. They're just trying to get it done. And when you put the answers in the back of the fucking book, then they're not going to care. They're going to use that and get it done, and then they're not going to learn anything. And then when you test them on it, all they've been doing is recopying the answers. And when you barely teach it, or you just incorporate notes, so we're just sitting there and looking at a freaking screen instead of going up there and doing it, and him noticing our mistakes is a kind of a dumb idea. If we go up there in front of the class and make a mistake, sure, maybe someone will ridicule you, but they're just an idiot. I don't care who gets ridiculed or whatever, for whatever reason. If they get ridiculed, just kick the kid who's doing it out of the class. I don't care. If I make a mistake, I want to know how to fix it, not sit there and take notes and hope to God you know how to do this, and then ask a couple of questions, and then still know what, and after that know what you're doing. Sometimes just questions don't even answer what I'm doing, because I don't know what questions to ask. I don't know what I'm doing, period. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to finish, and it's stupid. So there's got to be an improvement somehow, and if you guys are professional, then find a way to make it easier on the people like me, because sitting there filling in bubbles and doing a paragraph on what Timmy's shirt color was is a really great thing to do, but you guys were kids too. You hated it. Why aren't you changing it so that we don't have to do it, huh? Did you ever think about that, huh? You were kids, you hated this crap. Why not rebel and get rid of it? We didn't like how the British were ruling us, so we rebelled and got rid of it. So we should be able to do the same thing if a test tells you whether you can go to college or not. And if I want to be a good dad, which I do, one day, long time from now, I don't want a test telling me I can't have kids and I can't support them and I can't get a good job because the test says that I couldn't figure out what Timmy's f***ing shirt was. So there you go. That's my rant on why I think the test is ridiculous and stupid and should be gotten rid of and replaced with things that motivate children like me to learn. And if more schools do that, America will be advanced. So advanced that the economy will raise. But the Republicans don't want that, because they're not getting crap out of it for themselves, the selfish idiots. And again, if you watch the State of the Union address, the Republican only clapped when it involved him, or the military, or Go America. He didn't care what Obama was saying, because they're having freaking feuds. Consider this. Maybe separation of power isn't such a good idea if the government's going to shut down and drop the economy even further. Idiots. Get at your act.